Hello, today we are going to work on Mortuary Text 106. Does honesty always pay? It's on pages 235 and 236 if you have the book. If you don't have the book, no worries, I will provide the text and the questions. First, we will go over some vocabulary items that you will come across in this text. Let's go over their definitions and I'll provide example sentences. Let's start with to lie to someone. When you lie to someone, you don't tell them the truth. I provided the example sentences that you will see in the text here. You can study these sentences as well. There are also extra examples. I could tell from her face that she was lying. There is also the noun form, a lie or lies. These are things that are not true. I always know when he's telling lies. It's plural here. Also, a liar, a person who tells lies. Another gesture which gives liars away is what the writer of the book Man Watching calls the mouth cover. This is from the book. An example sentence is, he's such a liar. You can trust a word he says. Let's go on with the next bit, to be obsessed with something. When you're obsessed with something, you consider it so important that you are always thinking about them. He is obsessed with personal hygiene. And look at the picture. A lot of people are obsessed with personal hygiene these days. To fulfill something, fulfilling something means doing something that is expected, hoped for, or promised, or to cause it to happen, or you can say to make happen. At the age of 45, she finally fulfilled her ambition, her dream, to run a marathon. He has failed to fulfill his duties as a father. Next, to be skilled at something. The word skill comes from skills, abilities. When you are skilled at something, you have the abilities which are needed to do an activity or job well. My mother is very skilled at or in dressmaking. She is highly skilled at dealing with difficult customers. She is good at this. A gesture, this is a noun. It's a movement that you make with your hands, your head, or your face to show a particular meaning, to express yourself. Since they spoke only Swahili, this is a language, we use signs and gestures to make ourselves understood. She made a rude gesture at the other driver. Next, to interpret something. It means to believe or consider that something has a particular meaning. His refusal to work late was interpreted or was understood, maybe, or taken as a lack of commitment to the company. Another example, different people might interpret events differently. Okay, proof. This is a noun. It means a fact or piece of information that shows that something exists or it is true. The police have no definitive proof of her guilt. A similar word is evidence. To profit, this is a verb, it's very positive, meaning to get an advantage or money from doing something. Look at the example. Some industries, such as shipbuilding, clearly profited from the war. So these industries earned a lot of money during the war. Slight is an adjective. It means small in degree. There is a slight decrease in the number of people who go to the cinema. only a small decrease. Unconscious is an adjective. If something is unconscious, you have or do it without realizing that you did it. All humans possess the unconscious need to be loved. Here we have our text. It has 5 paragraphs in total. It's a relatively short text. You can read it. You can answer the questions in part A and part B. Okay? Take as much time as you need. Okay? Once you answer the questions, you can listen to the answers. So you can pause here, complete your work, and then go on to hear the answers. Okay, here are part A, question 1. What is a white lie? This was mentioned in paragraph 2. You need to read that paragraph and define it in your own words, it says. All right. Actually, the last sentences here also give us some information. A white lie is a lie that you tell when you don't want to hurt people's feelings. You can get it from here. Or you can say it's a lie which is told in order not to offend someone. Again, not to hurt their feelings, not to disrespect them. Question 2. How is the kind of lie politicians tell different from the lie mentioned in paragraph 1? In paragraph 1, we learned about white lies. Okay? In the second paragraph, we learned about the kinds of lies that politicians tell. We have some bits of information here. It says men are more likely to tell more serious lies, such as making a promise which they have no intention of fulfilling. This is the kind of lie politicians look, keyword, and businessmen are supposed to be particularly skilled at. The lie from which the liar hopes to profit or gain in some way. So I put together these words and I said the kind of lie politicians tell. It is more serious, and they, meaning politicians, hope to profit or gain from this kind of lie in some way. So unlike white lies, these kind of lies are not harmless. In part B, we have some multiple choice questions. Look at the first one. Research suggests that women. We have some information here about some research. University of Southern California has made a scientific study of lying. According to him, women are better liars than men, particularly when telling a white lie, it says. Okay? So the correct answer would be research suggests that women are better at telling less serious lies than men are. Okay, when you go on, it says men are more likely to tell more serious lies, such as making a promise which they have no intention of fulfilling. Second question here. One reason people sometimes rub their noses when they lie is that when you rub your nose, you touch your nose, okay? So this is paragraph 3. They also tend to touch certain parts of the face more often, in particular the nose. One explanation of this may be that lying causes a slight increase. Remember, small increase in blood pressure. The tip of the nose is very sensitive to such changes, and the increased pressure makes it itch. Therefore, you touch your nose. Okay, this is the reason. It would appear from the passage that for this question, you need to look at the last paragraph, I think to look at the conclusion. According to the conclusion, such gestures as rubbing the nose or covering the mouth or squirming about in a chair cannot be taken as proof that the speaker is lying. Okay? So there is no simple way of finding out if someone is lying because these kind of behaviors tend to occur more frequently in this situation. But it's not one gesture alone that gives the liar away, but a whole number of things it says, and in particular the context in which the lie is told. Okay, so in B it says certain gestures are proof that the speaker is lying. Here it says uh, cannot be taken as proof. Certain gestures are proof of lying only if they are repeated frequently. Says they simply tend to occur more frequently in this situation. We don't know how frequent. People lie in some situations more often than in others. Here it says we need to know the context in which the lie is told. Well, we don't. Okay. So according to paragraph 5, when you look at it, there is no simple way of finding out if someone is lying. Okay, that's all for now. Keep calm and study hard.